Hey everybody, this is PJ Riley from Lancaster Archery here in our pro shop. We wanted to tell you about some great new upgrades to the HHA Optimizer Lite sight. And actually what we have here is the HHA Optimizer Lite X. That's to delineate those new upgrades for 2022. Before we get into those new features, let's just talk about the Optimizer Lite. This is a great adjustable sight that HHA is known for. This uses the leverage bar here. You just loosen that, slide this indicator up and down, and you can see how the sight moves. And right here on this outer edge, this is where your sight tape would be mounted. In the pack, you are going to get several computer-generated sight tapes. The sight tapes for the Optimizer Lite are going to give you adjustments from 20 to 80 yards, and you're just going to mount these to the front of the sight here. Of course, you're going to get some setup tapes, some blank setup tapes that you put on there. You're going to find your marks for 20, 40, 50, match them up to your sight tapes here, and you're going to figure out which one has the speeds that you're after. Of course, the shorter the sight tape, the faster the bow. As your arrow speed slows down, then your sight tape gets bigger. All right, for the operation of the Optimizer Lite, you have your locking knob right here. Loosen this when you want to change positions of the sight. Move it up and down. Once you get it set where you want it, lock that, and now this thing does not budge. You can't get it to move. So it's going to be set where you want it. You're going to have also a locking knob on the front here. This is for your windage. This is for when you're sighting in. You're just going to loosen that and then make your adjustments left and right here with this knob. Once you get it set, lock it back down into place. So some other features of the Optimizer Lite, you're going to have this great fiber pin inside there. You got a scope ring, nice and bright, that neon color. And then on top here, you're going to have a rheostat cover. You can see there's no fiber exposed anywhere. If I need to brighten my pin up, I just pull that rheostat cover down. Now you can see all that fiber. Now all that fiber is catching light, which transmit to your pin. If you're getting a starburst effect because there's too much light, I can then push this cover back, cover up some of that fiber, and now my pin's going to quiet down. So what's new for the Optimizer Lite? Right here, you're going to see these screws. There's one right here, top, and one at the bottom. Now you're able to level your second axis on the Optimizer Lite X. Simply loosen both of those screws, and then you're going to be able to pivot the scope up and down, get it level, lock it into place. Second axis is adjusted. That is an awesome feature. Another new feature is right here, how the scope bar mounts to the adjustment plate. You're going to see these slots. If you recall the Optimizer Lite from the past, they had a series of holes in the adjustment plate here. And you needed two to mount the scope block. And so that was your adjustments. You could only go by series of two to get your bolts in there. Now we have these slots, and you have 3 screw positions on your scope block. So what that does is allows you to customize the position of this scope. In other words, if you want to, this is going to be primarily for folks who really want to maximize the elevation adjustment. So obviously, if you want to get the most out of your sight, you want your 20 pin to be as high, to sit as high as you can get it. In other words, this gives me my maximum adjustment range for moving back in distance. So this elevates the scope as high as it can get. Well, if my 20 is not exactly in that position, I have to be able to move that scope to get it where I want it without moving this adjustment, because again, this is what gives me my adjustment range. So if I can adjust this whole mounting block down to where my 20-yard pin is, then I have this full range of adjustment for maximum distance. Obviously that's as high as it will go. It pushes my scope low. This is as far as I'm gonna have a distance set for on my yardage tape. So for mounting the Optimizer Lite X, of course, you're gonna have two positions here for where you're gonna mount it on the riser of the bow, and then you're gonna have your quiver mount right here. In the pack, of course, you've got this bar to contend with. In the pack, you are gonna get spacers that will allow you to bring your quiver mount up and over this bar so you don't have to worry about it, and then you can still have your adjustments underneath your quiver. All right, so that is the HHA Optimizer Lite X, an upgraded sight from HHA. Awesome sight, very popular among bow hunters. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click that bell to get notifications whenever we put out new videos. And as always, if you have any questions, you can visit us at LancasterArchery.com.